Man, I really love bad costumes in fighting games, because this genre typically has really good fashion, so it's hilarious when you get costumes like this. Yeah, it's really ugly, but the fact costumes like this make it into the game is a miracle. Because think about it, somebody had to design this costume, then it had to get approved by several people before making it into the game. Plus, it had to beat out other costumes that were likely better looking. So yeah, this costume on screen is nasty, there can be no doubt, but I can't help but admire how it survived. So for today's video, let's look back on the terrible costumes throughout Mortal Kombat history. But some of them are truly terrible, you've been warned. Comment down below which costumes you dislike the most, because this series has a lot of costumes, so chances are I missed some that are really bad. Hell, NK Mobile alone has hundreds of costumes, so yeah, I definitely missed some. Also, real quick, don't get upset if I mention any costumes you like, because like stated earlier, I admire these costumes and think they're neat. Alright, let's begin, and keep in mind I'm not listing these costumes in any real order until the final three. First up, we have Sub-Zero in Deception, his alternate costume, the Bald Boy. That's right, no hair except for a tiny ponytail on the back. For many people, this costume is actually the worst in the entire series. I personally don't agree with that take, but yeah, it's a disgusting costume. It looks really bad. Making Sub-Zero bald was definitely a bold choice, to be sure. I understand the Asian reference for sure. I think Chinese warriors wore this haircut back in the day. They shaved all of their head except for the ponytail. Even Zuko from The Last Airbender has hair like this. And I think the developers were going for that look, right? Sub-Zero is actually Chinese, whereas Scorpion is Japanese, and I think Midway wanted to show that Asian heritage, specifically how the Lin Kuei are Chinese and would likely have that Chinese warrior haircut. I get it, but also it just looks bad, okay? Bald is a tough look to pull off. Very few video game characters can be bald and cool at the same time. Shoutouts to you, Kratos, you're a real one. But ironically enough, Sub-Zero also has his best costume in this game. Many people would argue this costume on screen is the coolest Sub-Zero has ever looked, and it's in the same game. Alright, next up is Mohawk Kitana from Mortal Kombat 1. Just like with Sub-Zero's costume, this look does make sense in the story because it's Chaos Kitana, and I understand that, but even so, the socks alone are making me cringe. Who designed this thing? Make it at least look cool. Chaos should look cool, right? Nothing about this looks cool. It's all half finished or half realized. Mileena's outfit looks cool. It's an actual mohawk. I don't know what the heck this is. Looks like ice cream at Dairy Queen. So yeah, this costume's main sin is not going far enough. It's stuck in that weird safe area that makes it look terrible and really cringy. And since we're already talking about Chaos Reigns, I'm gonna bring up the Chaos Palettes. That's right, every single one of them. Mileena's Invasion season was a nightmare for the fashion industry. Everyone's eyes bled staring at these things. The color palettes alone make you want to vomit. Now with that said, there's something charming to them because they're so god-awful, and I couldn't help but collect all of them. They're so disgusting, I just had to have them. Honestly, my only issue with these costumes is that NetherRealm lied to us and said they were Mileena's costumes. No, they're not. They're Havoc's costumes and were meant for his season of Invasion, but for whatever reason, NetherRealm had to rush them out and then lied to our faces saying these are Mileena's costumes. No, they're not. Even the files are labeled as Chaos costumes for Havoc's season, you big ol' liars. Alright, next up is Mortal Kombat 11 Skarlet. Her default look, the Desert Wanderer. This outfit is offensive for all Skarlet fans because it flies in the face of her lore, and you can tell that NetherRealm actively changed her lore just to justify this terrible costume. And if you think I'm joking, I must stress that I am not. This costume completely flies in the face of Skarlet's lore. For anyone watching who might not be aware, Skarlet is a blood homunculus. In other words, she's comprised of blood and not a real human, similar to how Ermac is comprised of souls. Both of these characters are not actually living people. They're comprised of several dead things from other people, also known as homunculus. And because Skarlet is made of blood, she gets stronger by absorbing the blood of her enemies. That's why she wears so little clothing. Her skin literally absorbs the blood from the enemies that she is actively killing and makes her stronger. So this outfit on screen makes zero sense whatsoever, and I think that maybe NetherRealm was trying to pander to somebody with this outfit, or at least I think that was the idea. There's no way to prove that was their goal, but it feels that way. It just looks ugly and boring and also flies in the face of Skarlet's lore. Now thankfully, Mortal Kombat 11 has great outfits for Skarlet. Some some of the best she's ever had, so that's a good thing. And also, this default outfit never made it into the mobile game, which is hilarious because there's so many costumes in the mobile game, but not this one, so it's almost as if NetherRealm knows it's terrible. Next up, we have Union of Light Reptile in Mortal Kombat 1. Man, this outfit is just not fun to look at. It's boring, it's bland, it's stupid. If there was a boring contest, this outfit might take the gold medal. It's so blah. It feels like Power Rangers, but a rejected Power Rangers. It's so bad. Which is truly terrible because Reptile is such an interesting character to design costumes for. He's part human, part lizard. How can you mess up his costume and make it so bland? And keep in mind, this is Titan Reptile. That's right, the goodiest good boy of the reptiles, possibly the strongest reptile in the multiverse, and he dresses like this. Truly a horrific timeline, to be sure. Next up, we have Warrior Mileena from Mortal Kombat 11. I don't know the exact name for some of these costumes, forgive me, but I have the visuals on screen, so you know what I'm talking about. This outfit doesn't actually look terrible, but the issue is it flies in the face of Mileena's lore and personality, because every Mortal Kombat fan on Earth knows that Mileena is obsessed with looking beautiful and hiding her ugly face. She wants to look like Kitana because she's cloned from her, and when she looks in the mirror, she wants to see Kitana, but instead her gross monster face is staring back, and she hates that. Mileena wants to look beautiful. She would never dress like this, it makes no sense. But also, it's mainly the haircut for me. I hate the shaved head, not only because it looks bad, but also during this time, shaving the head of a woman was how the developers told their audience, yeah, we're woke now. That He-Man show did it, along with several other shows. They took fan favorite characters and shaved their head to make them look more masculine. Although it can look good sometimes. In Mortal Kombat 1, Mileena still has the shaved head, but it looks beautiful and savage at the same time. It's a perfect mix. This outfit on screen feels like it was meant to look gross, and that bothers me because again, it goes against Mileena's personality, but also it feels like the developers made her ugly on purpose. Alright, real quick, an honorable mention, Mortal Kombat 4 Reptile. Many fans consider this one of the ugliest costumes in the entire series, and definitely Reptile's worst look, but honestly, I think it's kind of iconic, and as a kid, I thought this was the best Reptile had ever looked, so maybe it was meant for my age group, I don't know, but childhood me thought this outfit went hard, and it looked really cool. It's actually what made me a Reptile fan, which is why it's an honorable mention for me. It's not really a terrible costume, it just looks really different, and that's a bit weird for some people, but honestly, I don't think it's a bad costume. It's kind of iconic. Unlike this Johnny Cage costume, my goodness, what were they thinking with that man bun? I bet many of you watching had no clue this costume existed, because I did not either. But thanks to the fourth snake, we all know this costume exists now, and it's terrible. Some characters can pull off the man bun. I think Scorpion and Sub-Zero look okay with the man buns in Mortal Kombat 1, but Johnny Cage here looks terrible. His face also looks pretty ugly in this render. NetherRealm really sucks at renders. I've got no clue why, but their PNGs of their characters always look god-awful, and is purposely picking the worst angles for these renders, and the characters look so ugly all the time. Anyways, Injustice 2 Raiden is pretty terrible too. Why is his mask made entirely of metal? That would be so uncomfortable. And also, the guy commands lightning. Why would he want to be covered in metal? That would just draw his own lightning towards himself instead of at the opponent. That makes no sense. I understand wearing some metal because armor looks cool, but to put this much metal on Raiden, the Thunder God, just feels really weird and looks kind of dumb. To be completely honest with you, this looks like an adult film parody of Raiden to me, and I'm not entirely sure why, but that's just how it looks to me. Why is he wearing all that jewelry and so much gold? Why is he showing so much of his chest? It really does look like a stripper version of Raiden to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but at the very least, I think we can all agree this outfit does not fit Raiden at all. Another quick honorable mention is the bug costumes in Mortal Kombat 11, because yeah, they're gross, but also that was the entire point. They're meant to be Kaiten versions of the characters, which is what Devora is, and her goal is to also be disgusting. And this outfit in particular is the most offensive because Devora looks naked, but again, that was the goal, so I don't consider it the worst costume when it was intentionally designed to be creepy. It kind of met its goal. Along with every other bug costume in Mortal Kombat 11, I think they did a good job. Alright, but now finally, it's time for the 3 worst costumes in Mortal Kombat history. That's right, earlier I mentioned that the final 3 costumes would actually be the worst. So alright, here we go. First up is Tanya from Mortal Kombat 1. I'm just kidding, it's not that terrible. Heat Vision Scorpion from Mortal Kombat X. It actually hurts your eyes to look at this. It's not just ugly, it actually causes your eyeballs to feel pain. And I'm not joking, if you fight someone who's wearing this outfit and you're forced to actually focus on their character's animations, your eyes start to hurt, not only because the colors are so abrasive and in your face, but also because this outfit actively hides which part of the character is moving, and honestly, the costume should have been banned for that reason, because that does happen happened to other fighting games for anyone not aware. If a costume actually hides the character's animations, it can get banned. So you would think this eyesore on screen would have gotten banned too, but I don't think it was. Anyway, it's one of the worst costumes in Mortal Kombat history because it physically hurts your eyeballs and is also ugly. Next up is Ninja Mime from Mortal Kombat X. It looks kinda cool in Mortal Kombat 11 and 1 because they actually mixed the ninja elements from past games with the mime patterns. But for Mortal Kombat X, it looked truly terrible. I hate this design so much. It's a pure eyesore. As in, I get uncomfortable just looking at it, and it's one of those costumes that genuinely has me scratching my head at how it survived into the game. Like, how did people approve this? There had to be several different concepts and designs for Ninja Mime, and you're telling me this one is what made it in? This survived the cut? It looks awful. I hate it so much. This outfit is okay though. It can stay. I like MK11 Ninja Mime. Alright, it's time for the worst costume in Mortal Kombat history. Ultimate Statue Liu Kang. Yeah, this costume is the worst for a couple of reasons, so give me a chance to explain myself before you jump down my throat and say, no, it's not the worst, it's just weird. No. There's several reasons why this costume is the worst in the entire series. Number one, Liu Kang looks terribly uncanny, like an actual mannequin staring at you, which is very unsettling. Then on top of that, the only way you gain access to this costume is through buying the most expensive version of Mortal Kombat 1. That's right, if you buy the big old collector's edition of Mortal Kombat 1, you get this outfit for Liu Kang. What a slap to the face. You spend all that money and get a costume that you would otherwise be able to show off, like, hey, look at this awesome costume I got. But no, it's this, the soulless, bland looking costume for Liu Kang. It's so blah, so offensively blah, I just despise it. So those reasons combined are why I consider Statue Liu Kang the worst costume in Mortal Kombat history. But let me know in the comments if you disagree, because honestly, there's plenty of other costumes that are really ugly, like this Tanya outfit that I just remembered. This could also be number one to a lot of people. Good lord, I hate this thing. As you can see, the Mortal Kombat series has had plenty of terrible looking costumes, but I can't help but love them because they survived. These costumes are survivors, no matter how ugly they are, which is why I'm always gonna love them in a bizarre kind of way. I can't help but admire these disgusting outfits and how they exist. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, everyone, and if you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like down below. It helps my channel out a ton. And then finish that combo by subscribing and ringing that bell so you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.